Hey, what's up, guys? Casey Dimon here, TaxSaleAcademy.com. Thank you so much for joining me on today's live stream right here on YouTube. Guys, today we're going to be talking about something that's probably not the most exciting thing when it comes to tax sale investing, but it's definitely something that can really have a huge impact on you as a tax sale investor. Guys, today we're going to be talking about tax sales and title insurance and how to get the maximum money in your pocket as possible. Again, immediately it's not the most exciting thing, but the truth is it's a very, very extremely important topic. So let's look at the basics first. In a typical real estate transaction, when you're buying and selling real estate through a realtor, the typical thing, right? The seller will sell that piece of property with a warranty deed and with title insurance. When you're the seller of that piece of property, you're guaranteeing that the title is going to be marketable, that it doesn't have any clouds, any liens, any encumbrances, stuff like that. You're basically saying you own what you say you own, and you don't owe any money to anybody for that property, and nobody has any claims or any unresolved issues with that piece of property. And again, along with that promise will come a title insurance policy that will benefit the buyer that guarantees this, and essentially it is ensuring your promises. This title insurance is going to be backed by a nationally recognized, bonded, and strong insurance company, and it's going to be issued only after the title company has performed an extensive analysis of the history of the chain of title for that specific piece of property. Now, title insurance really benefits both parties too. If you're the buyer, you want title insurance because if there's something that pops up that's wrong with that title 5-10 years from now, you can go back to that title insurance agency and they'll have to, pay out your claim for it. When you're the seller of that property and you sell that piece of property and the title insurance company says, yes, everything's clear and they insure it, if there is an issue in the future, the buyer is likely to go after that title insurance company instead of you because obviously they're going to have the funds to pay that title insurance policy out. So it really protects both people. Now, with that said, when a piece of property goes through the tax foreclosure process and you buy it at a tax sale, the title to that property is going to be considered clouded and it will not generally be able to have title insurance issued against it immediately. In other words, title insurance companies will not issue title insurance against tax defaulted real estate, and because of this, you cannot have a typical real estate transaction without additional effort. Now, the end result is that the value of that property is going to be affected, and it can be more difficult to sell that real estate. So what's the solution, right? How do you solve this problem? Well, you basically have three different options. The first option is called a suit to quiet title. A suit to quiet title is going to be the most popular method of dealing with clouded titles. And they don't just use this on tax defaulted real estate, although it's a common way to cure the title for tax defaulted real estate. When you're talking about a suit to quiet title, it's typically going to be handled by an attorney, but it's a judicial action or a lawsuit that is taken against the title of a piece of property to forever quiet anyone else's potential claims to or interest in that property. So anyone that could hold a potential interest in that property is going to be notified of, all sorts of legal action, all that good stuff, and eventually a judge will sign off on a judgment for that property and it will clear the title of all clouds. This is going to be the simplest way to clear the title because once a judge signs off, you're good to go and you can get title insurance right away. However, because it does have a judicial action, right? There are set time requirements. A lot of attorneys don't act quickly, and a lot of court documents can get backed up. In short, it just takes a lot of time to get a suit to quiet title finalized. It can also be pricey in many areas depending on the attorney that you're using. My suggestion is to call around, get the timelines and the cost of a few different attorneys in the area where that property is located, and then kind of make your decision on who to use and how to move forward from there. The second option is called a tax foreclosure certification. This is a process where a specialized tax title company will actually certify that the tax foreclosure process was performed correctly. What they'll do is they'll go back into the history of that tax foreclosure. They'll research and they'll analyze the tax foreclosure action, all the notifications, all the papers, everything in that file, and if everything was done properly, and if they're satisfied that it was performed properly, then they'll offer you the ability to get title insurance through one of their partner title insurance companies. And there's only a few companies that offer a tax title certification. And my opinion is that they're going to become more and more popular over the coming years. But for right now, the two most popular are going to be Tax Title Services and Clear to Sell. Again, Tax Title Services and clear to sell. You can Google those names. The third method is really to not do anything at all. This means that you'd actually resell the property with the title, with the clouds, with everything as is, and you're going to use a deed that doesn't guarantee clear title, which is known as a quitclaim deed. So you aren't taking the time or the expense to clear the title, but in exchange for not clearing the title to that property, of course, you're not going to be able to provide title insurance, you're not going to use a warranty deed, and the end result is that property is going to sell for significantly less money. So if you're selling like a $1,500 vacant lot, this approach actually might work very well for you, and the buyer might be understandable because the property is so cheap. But if you're selling a $250,000 house, it'll be difficult to find a buyer for that house because they're going to want title insurance to ensure that their $250,000 investment is going to be safe. It's also important to note that when you deal with the realtors and banks and title companies and all these, the professionals in the industry, most everybody's going to want you to use title insurance and a warranty deed because it protects them. Selling quitclaim deeds, selling as-is title with possible clouds and stuff, really opens them up to a lot of liability, and they won't want to mess with these things, okay? But again, I've used this strategy many, many times, and it definitely has its place, and it can work. So there it is, tax sales and title insurance, and how to maximize your investments by getting title insurance on your tax defaulted real estate. Now, if you want more details on these topics, on a suit to quiet title, tax foreclosure certification, or selling as is, I have videos right here on my YouTube channel. Just go to my channel and search for those terms. There's lots and lots of details about it because it's a big part of what we do as tax sale investors is figuring out a way around, working through the clouded title issues that we have. So guys, I really hope you've enjoyed today's live stream. If you enjoy these live streams, go ahead and hit that thumbs up button for me. It'll motivate me to continue making more of these live streams for you. And as always, these videos like this are just the beginning when it comes to the training that we offer for new tax sale investors. And if you'd like more information on investing in tax defaulted real estate, head on over to TaxSaleAcademy.com. That's TaxSaleAcademy.com. Hey, have a great weekend, guys. Take care. Bye-bye.